I'm Routt Reigart. I'm president of the board of Beyond Pesticides. I'm delighted that all of you are here. It's really exciting to be in Florida. Jay and the board of Beyond Pesticides will tell you that it's been my dream for many years to have this forum in Florida, and more than that, to have it in Florida and focused on the needs, problems, and support of farm workers. I feel that as an organization, we have done less than we ought to have to support farm workers and their needs. So I'm very, very excited that we're having it here. I'm very excited about the focus on farm workers. And I'm also very excited that we're able to have it in this fine facility. It's a great place. We'll have the opportunity as time goes on during this course of this event to thank all of our co-sponsors. But for purposes of this introduction, we would like to introduce two of the very most important people with regard to this occurring. And the first is Tirso Moreno, who is the general coordinator for the Farmworker Association of Florida. And Tirso, if you would come up and say a few words, I'd appreciate it.
Well, I had to make some notes in Spanish, right, since it's a good way for me to kind of prepare a little. But I'm going to speak to you in English, and sorry if you don't understand all what I say. But I'm bilingual, but not fully. Yes, in behalf of our communities, the farm workers and the Farmworker Association of Florida, our board, our members, our leadership, and our staff want to, welcome you all officially to this conference, which we are co-sponsors to. And we appreciate Beyond Pesticides for doing this conference in Florida. That's great. We need it here. We need it here. We also appreciate Florida A&M University for providing the space for us to have this important event. We didn't expect any less from them. We know that the university has been taking care of needs in our communities, especially people of color. So we have a history on that. They're also a land trust university. So they're connected to agriculture too. For us, it's very important that that's happening. This is happening here in Florida. We have the second largest number of farm workers in the nation. That is significant. We also are in a place where most of the farm workers are people of color, and has not always been that way exactly, but most of the times it has been in this country. We're also located in the South, and we also have to deal with some problems that some other parts of the country don't have to deal with. We do have, we have to deal more, it's not good to make comparisons, I know, but racism is more rooted in this region of the country. And we have to deal with that. It happened a long time ago when the farm workers were slaves, but it's still there, and it's difficult. We have to deal with some difficulties here. We also, states like Florida, located in the South, have what is called the right to work, which sounds good, but it's not good. And also, farm workers in Florida are excluded from the right to organize. Most of the states, but compared with California, where we have, the biggest majority of farm workers, Florida doesn't have the right to organize, and the federal law has always excluded us. So, well, for us as farm workers, it's very important the support we can get from people like you, scientists, educational institutions can do research, can do, they have, they can help us to prove the damage pesticides is doing on our people, and that can help us to, to use that to try to change policies. So that is, for us, it's very important what you're doing. Also, the advocates and the people who support us, who are interested in the well-being of farm workers and others exposed to pesticides. Also, healthcare, people interested in healthcare. It's very important for us to have you all here, to have your participation, your presence, and that this event is being held up here at this university in Central Florida, in Florida. That will benefit us. We wanted to continue. I mean, we also expect to have, we also appreciate all the collaboration from all the parties, scientists, universities, supporters, even policymakers. And we had worked hard to educate farm workers, policymakers, supporters, et cetera, scientists, et cetera, on the issues affecting our communities. We had worked hard, and we had some positive impact. We had helped to change policies and practices for good for our people. We want to continue doing that, and we expect that this event will produce more collaboration, more knowledge, more material for us to continue looking for, what we need. Better working conditions, better, health conditions, for our people. Thank you very much, and I hope we all can get what we're looking for here. Gracias.
Now I'd like to introduce our host in this building, Dr. Randall Abate, who is Professor of Law and Director of the Center for International Law and Justice at the Florida A&M University College of Law, right here. We're excited to have such a wonderful place to have the meeting, and I think this also helps illustrate how important the law and use of the law is to our activities in protecting farm workers and moving beyond pesticides. So I'm delighted to welcome you to the podium, Dr. Abate.
Thank you so much for coming. It's an honor and a pleasure to welcome all of you to Florida A&M College of Law. I'd like to focus first on the pleasure part. It's been just really a blessing in so many ways to have a conference come to me for the first time in my career. Conference planning is very hard work, and we do that here, and that's typically on my shoulders. And we've had environmental justice conferences here for the past 4 years, and they've been wonderful events and really productive ways to start dialogues about these important issues involving environmental justice. That's going to be a focus of this event as well. And the only downside is just how much work it is. So when and actually Jeannie Economos, who's still enjoying organic food in the lobby, I think, is really the one I would like to thank first, because I think it was really Jeannie that brought this connection together to happen as far as Florida A&M College of Law being the venue for this event. And once she put me in touch with the folks from Beyond Pesticides, Jay and Stephanie, who I've been working with, and working with is probably the wrong term. Just watching them pull this wonderful event together and being able to be, partially accept credit for it is is unusual and wonderful all at the same time for me. So it's just a great opportunity for the law school to have this kind of event happening here. And from a lawyer's and a law professor's perspective, it's just great to be looking out over an audience of non-lawyers, which doesn't happen often enough either. So the one thing that I really enjoy about environmental law and environmental justice is how it brings different constituents together to try to fight for common good. And lawyers are often trapped in contexts with other lawyers and struggle to break out of that in many instances. And it's just great to see a mixture of disciplines that are coalescing around a common purpose. So scientists and policymakers and a handful of lawyers and farmers and even some children I see. You know, this is great. We're all here around a common cause, and this event is really one that I've just admired how it came together, and admired the people that have been assembled to speak to you on these issues. So the part about it being not just a pleasure but an honor it relates to that. Just how many wonderful speakers have been assembled to speak over the next day and a half, and also in terms of how it dovetails so nicely with our mission here. I mean, Florida A&M College of Law is about justice first and foremost. I mean, we are a historically black college and university, and we are the law school arm of that mission. And of course, the mission is about promoting minority rights and advancement in the legal profession. And so when I came here 6 years ago, there was not yet an environmental justice piece to that justice mission. And so it's been really exciting for me to build that area of emphasis of environmental justice. And really one of the first pieces of exposure I got to the environmental justice field here in Central Florida was the Farmworkers of the Farmworker Association of Florida. Now Jeannie's here, excellent. So I got to meet Jeannie. Speaking of how refreshing it is to be among non-lawyers, I mean, Jeannie's passion for these issues just ignited everyone in this institution. Whenever we would go on a toxic tour, which has become legendary over the past 5 years, there have been so many students who have been inspired by going on the toxic tour, getting to be aware of the farm worker issues, both from an environmental and from a human rights perspective. They've gone on to do work in that area on largely a pro bono basis, but nonetheless hoping to do more than that in their careers, have worked on issues related to farm worker protections, related to environmental justice issues right here in our community, just beyond the law school here in the Paramore district. They've worked on environmental justice issues, contamination of water supplies, disproportionately impacting minority and low-income communities. So having that connection to farm worker issues and social and environmental justice has been just an amazing benefit for our institution. It's one we continue to move forward on, both domestically and internationally. We have both an environmental and an international program, and they really come together around that issue of promoting justice. So it's just a thrill to be here at this event, see how it came together so magically and without my blood, sweat, and tears, and it's just going to be wonderful on every level. So we are just proud and delighted to be the host, and look forward to the great dialogue we're going to have over the next day and a half. And please come talk to me if you have any questions about our institution and our programs. And I hopefully will not be so obviously the most overdressed person in the room tomorrow. I'll lose the tie and get the jeans on, and that's my two modes are overdressed and slightly overdressed. So I'll go to the slightly overdressed mode for tomorrow, and would love to get to know as many of you as possible while you're all here and enjoying our facility and this event. Thank you so much for coming.